Okay, I still see this. Okay, we are live. Yes. Okay. Hello, everybody. I need to. Okay. Do you hear me and do you see our slide, title slide? I need a response from our attendees. Okay. Okay, so we will start right now. Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome everyone to our webinar about Microsoft 365 licensing. My name is Krzysztof Józek, and together with Andrzej and Katarzyna, we would like to talk about how to find out around Microsoft product licensing. Let me start by stating the obvious understanding. Microsoft licensing is very difficult. The number of license and add-ons to this create a huge matrix of choices for us. So this is a very difficult for a lot of companies and a lot of managers to buy or choose the best way to buy Microsoft 365 license and products for the companies. Today, we would like to talk about how to find your way in Microsoft 365 licensing jungle and find out the benefits of license management. Before we begin, we should consider how it ever happened that we need to talk about this. So, Agnieszka, please give me the next slide, my slide. Exactly. So how did it happen that we need to talk about licensing and this meaning that we are in Microsoft license jungle? There is some point of we can start that there is a problem. For example, we can buy too much or not enough license for our users, and this is very tricky because all of us know how many users we have in our companies. Okay, I have 400 users, I need 400 license. Yes, of course, but do you use a shared mailbox? Yes, of course, but do you convert the shared mailbox, for example, for user mailbox? Yes. Okay, so when you do that, you need to assign a license for this mailbox, and this is the tricky point that okay, so I need 400 user, 400 license, and at another license. So this is the first one when we consider about licensing, and we forget about this converting for the shared mailbox to user mailbox that need address licensing. Another point that we buy a wrong license, not fit to purpose. For example, license per user or per device. There is some product Microsoft when we can buy licensing for user or per device. Please remember that when we choose the license for a user, the user keep the license always on. So when the user there is a license. When we choose the device license, okay, the device is licensed, and only all users that are log on to this device can work with these programs and apps. Sometimes with our customers, we talk about that they forget that security needs that license too. For example, when we talk about Microsoft 365, we need to talk that the whole three parts of Microsoft 365. For example, Office 365, Windows 10, and security. And this is the best way to communicate and talk about Microsoft products, but a lot of customers have only the Office 365, and when we talk about this, we don't talk about security, and we need to buy another license, and this is also the key point for administer and buying another license for our customers and our companies. So licensing is also in a different level for security. We need, when we talk about, for example, Azure Information Protection on advanced DLP, data loss prevention, we need to know in which part of our license security will be these features for our company about, for example, Azure Information Protection. Sometimes we forget about licensing for our devices, for example, Windows 10 E3 license. When we buy Microsoft 365, the whole packet with license for Windows 10 for enterprise, of course, we forget about this, that the device, when the license is assigned, need also the license, for example, for Windows 10 Pro devices, also already in this device. So this is the another key point that we need to consider when we talk about licensing jungle of Microsoft products. And at the end of also the most tricky point, Azure AD, Azure Active Directory for Office 365. This is the basic Azure Active Directory for Office 365 and is free for all Office 365 tenants. But when we talk about more attractive administrative features, we talk also about Azure Active Directory P1 and P2 plans. So also this is another case to consider about licensing. For example, another key point for how we can choose to license in this matrix of licensing from Microsoft to catch the best way to administer licensing in our companies. Okay, the examples I have given are the most common problems we can encounter with our customers, often due to incorrect matching or lack of proper licensing products. Ordered or pushed is not fit for use. For example, this Windows 10 F3 without pro license on this devices when we try to assign this. To few license or add-ons are all problem also, but there's another problem. When the case where we bought all the highest license available, but we don't use them. The products or application are the offer. We don't use this because this is another kind of problem. In this case, the problem is on the side of bad buys or bad started adoption on Microsoft 365 solution in the organization. However, this is a topic for a separate webinar, how we manage these problems. So how did we end up with Microsoft 365 licensing jungle? The answer is simple. Digital transformation forced by the world situation from last 2 years. This is the very tricky sentence because in my IT department we talk, and in our company we talk about this, that the sponsor of digital transformation in last 2 years is also COVID-19, and it's already a fact. Another fact is that the job market and its needs have changed and are changing all the time. Hybrid or completely remote working today is also a fact. So companies that want to catch up with the changing job market and address all the needs of employees implement or use tools that enable these needs. For example, Microsoft 365. And in this point, the secret is complete. We use this and end up with Microsoft licensing jungle. So Microsoft 365 licensing management is complicated. Change that can hand up quickly. So we need to focus on this and need to find the best way to administer this license. Andrei? Maybe
Thank
some points of view from you.
Krzysztof, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. My name is Andrei Popa. I'm a cloud consultant in Croatia, Romania. So, as my colleague stated before, Microsoft 365 licensing management, when you administer a large company, is a very complicated process. You may have IT questions like how many licenses do you have, or maybe how are they being used, or do I have the right license for a user or something like that? So in order to resolve this challenge, you must understand the complete state of the Microsoft 365 licensing and their usage. Okay. On top of this, you could use a professional tool as CoreView in order to help you out with managing those licenses, because license management and optimization is are one of the key aspects or features in CoreView. So in order to help customers maximize their return on investment in Microsoft 365, because CoreView platforms pulls information from all over the Microsoft 365 services. CoreView gives customer a complete view of what their employees are using, or better said, not using, because this is the most important thing we care of. So with just few clicks, maybe you can see if you have licenses that are assigned but haven't been used, for example, for 30 days, 60 days, or even 90 days. And maybe reclaiming those licenses will give to new users, and give them to new users is much better than buying more licenses than you actually need. Another key aspect of license management is what we call licensing pools. Licensing pools are similar to virtual tenants, but they separate and allow you to create pools of licenses by department, or maybe by location, or maybe on country-based. But you also have the option to use several other attributes. So, for example, if you have 10,000 licenses in your Microsoft 365 tenant, you can create a license pool and assign those 10,000 licenses across the pool. So one pool has, for example, 100 licenses, while another might have 2,000 licenses. These ensure that departments are only using the license they have been assigned, and they can't steal licenses from other departments. The reporting on licensing pool usage can also be used to maybe charge back departments for the licenses they are using. So another cool feature, in my opinion, in CoreView will be the virtual tenants. So CoreView layers is what we call basically virtual tenants, which allows you to segment your Microsoft 365 tenant for administrative purposes. And not only, you can also use it for reporting or licensing. So virtual tenants are based on a query. So basically any attribute in Azure AD. It can be also based on group membership, domain. So they are very dynamic in nature, and once set up, don't require continued maintenance. So once virtual tenants are set up, you can then create custom permission sets to give the least amount of privilege to virtual tenants admin, so they can complete their tasks. This will enable you to move to a decentralized administration model, relieving the pressure on central IT. Using this method, you require only 2 or 3 global admins in your tenant. Everyone else is just a normal user. They will simply use CoreView for any administrative tasks. Another again cool feature in CoreView is the multi-tenant. So basically, multi-tenant, as Microsoft presents it, is offering a unified form of management that allows Microsoft 365 partners admin the ability to administer all the tenants they manage from a single location. Okay, but you have to be a Microsoft 365 partner in order to use it. So if you are a partner who manages multiple tenants, you can move quickly between tenants, and you can manage them. Maybe you can also assess service health, products, and billing across multiple tenants. The Microsoft 365 suite will allow you to use multi-tenants in that format. But inside CoreView, we have a Core Suite, which is a solution from CoreView, and that looks to help customers better than manage the efficiency, so the investment or the risk that comes with a software as a service platform. So Microsoft 365 comes with a lot of admin centers, a lot of graphic user interface for different admin center or for different tenants and so on. But CoreView will bolster that management plan by providing a single viewpoint for an entire Office 365 tenant or multiple tenants. It compiles at this information into a single console to give operators the power to control and report the entire software as a service platform. So basically, to summarize what CoreView is doing, so you can assign ownership of set of number of licenses to each department of business unit leveraging CoreView. This license pool will effectively delegate the responsibility for licenses distribution and recovery, the recover of the business unit managers, and will also allow you to set hard limits on number of licenses that the business unit can distribute. When they reach the full assignment of licenses, they won't be able to take licenses from general corporate tenants, to call them like that, any longer. Instead, they will have to purchase additional licenses from central IT, or more importantly, recycle inactive licenses, because this is the main scope, in my opinion, from accounts that are older and not in use anymore. This will put also the central IT group in complete control over what licensing are distributed and who is paying for them. And now I will give the word to Kasia in order to present CoreView as a tool.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Andrei. Thank you, Christoph. My name is Kasia Nowicka. I'm the solutions architect at CoreView, based in Germany. So thank you so much for this introduction. I think it was a great introduction to our platform. I'm just going to present quickly 2 slides about who we are as CoreView, and then I'm going to jump in straight to the platform itself and show you the platform in action. Can I have my next slide? Thank you. So CoreView is a leading SaaS management platform for Office 365, Microsoft 365. We were founded in Italy. We are originally from Italy, founded in 2014. At the moment, we have our European headquarters in Milan, but we also have headquarters in the US in Atlanta. We are at the moment managing over 10 million user mailboxes in over 100 countries, working with the largest enterprises from all over the globe. Can I have my next slide, please? So CoreView platform is not only reporting, it's also management and helping you to simplify your administration, increase your efficiency within the administrative tasks. We can also help you with adoption. So while we are identifying underused licenses or inactive users, we can also help you drive that adoption. We are focusing also on the security enhancements and making sure that you can build powerful, granular, role-based access control policies, detect security gaps. All of these things that you can see on this slide, those 3 pillars, so improve IT efficiency, maximize SaaS ROI, and mitigating risks, those are the 3 pillars of our platform that we can help you with. And without the further ado, because I don't want to spend time on slides, I will jump into the platform. So just give me a moment. Share my window.